Yo, how is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Slot 1 Super Podcast. We are back once again here for episode 73 for part 2 of the the Transcendent Dokkan campaign to talk about everything that's been going on since the beginning of part 2. So we were a week behind due to some issues last week, but we are back ready to talk about everything that has been going on. I, of course, am the main host for this evening, Ningen, and of course, I am not alone. I have my two co-hosts here with me, as always. First of all, say hello to our boy Vilify. How's it going?
It's going well. It's a beautiful Saturday here, and I'm excited to talk about some Dokkan. It's been a little bit. TLDR, it was me last week, why we weren't able to record. I won't say why, but I'm happy that we're going to be able to hear. And, we have a lot more under our belts now. We have a lot more experience with the characters, different events that we know are coming out. So it ended up working out pretty well because now we have time to talk about some other things later on.
Like action.
Very true. And then, you heard him. We have our other co-host as well, Minato's Flash. How are you doing today?
Hello guys, I'm just chilling. I'm just doing my thing, I'm playing a lot of Action Squadra, Dokkan Battle, having a lot of fun. Hope you guys are doing good. And yeah, just like any blame of anything that happens today, just blame it on Vilify. After last week, it's crazy. But yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
Also, sorry about the no face cam. There's a reason for the IRL cannot do that right now. But that's it.
He lost it.
It's all good.
I did not lose it. No.
Just lost it. But yeah, we are going to start off, I guess. We've got a few different things to talk about, but obviously, I guess the main thing, since we haven't done an episode since part 2 began, the main thing, I guess, to talk about, first of all, straight away, we might as well jump into the big main topic, of course, with the start of part 2 was the release of the part 2 LR, the Carnival LR Wrathful Brolyyyyy. So this is the guy that we're going to talk about first of all. I guess, I don't know whether we want to jump into the unit, your thoughts on the unit, or if we want to talk about your summons first. But Vilify, we'll throw it over to you first. Start us off here with Wrathful Brolyyyyy.
Yeah, if we want to talk about summons, it's pretty simple, right? Double rates definitely helped hook me up on global. Within 600, 700 stones, I literally saw all 3 of the guaranteed animations.
Oh, damn.
So I had a Zeno and then a Whis back to back. And then I was like, I'll just keep going. And then it was like, if I pulled 2 in one multi, I'd go for the rainbow. But the last one for the gold slot, I'm like, I'll just stop. So it ended up working out pretty well. JP, I have him with a dupe. I pulled a dupe this morning because I got greedy and I wanted to use him more in Festival.
Okay.
So I've been addicted to Festival lately. I'll say that without getting, into detail about it. But I've just been playing it a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let me get more dupes than this guy. And it ended up working out. So the shaft did not find me. Mm-hmm. What about you guys?
Yeah, that sounds good. Minato, how were your summons for Brolyyyyy?
Terrible. I don't know. I'm like 700, 800 stones. I went in and didn't get Broly. I'm like, oh, well, I got multiple copies of every other character. It's one of those banners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Especially for
you like Golden Frieza, the int one? How many times have you seen him? 11?
Yeah, I like him quite a bit. He's been showing up for me quite a lot. So.
I didn't realize he was featured because usually what I'll do when I stream my summons, I don't really sit there for because I'm not recording it for a video, so I don't go over the featured and stuff. Usually I'll look at it real quick and then go in. I didn't realize he was featured. And I got him on back-to-back units and I was about to flip my lid. I was like, he better be featured. But thankfully he was, so I didn't pass out on stream.
Yeah, he was one of those units I guessed when I was speculating about what the banner would be, because they obviously try and fill those random SSR slots with relevant characters, and obviously with him being a Super Boss's support and obviously a unit from the Brolyyyyy movie, I kind of figured he would end up being one of the featured SSRs. I got really lucky. I have been on a bit of a hot streak for the last few banners, because I got the LR, Gogeta and Frieza on the first free multi, so it was 150 stones. And then I literally got Broly on the second multi. Literally just off of a normal Super Vegito fusion. So could have been any LR essentially, and it was Broly.
Congrats, guys.
The only downside, and I know it's one of those suffering from success problems, but the only problem with getting lucky on both the banners is there's a whole bunch of units that I don't have that I really wanted to actually pull copies of. But at the same time, I don't really want to spend coins for them. I don't think I actually have 500 carnival coins at the moment, but
You said this with Hit, right?
Yeah, I don't have Hit or Kaioken Goku, and I didn't pull any copies of Kale and Caulifla, and I don't have them yet either. So, but I pulled them straight away, and then I decided to do a couple more rotations just because the double rates is obviously very tempting. I did pull my first copy of TN because I didn't have him, the LR from the Tau celebration, so that was cool. I did pull a dupe for Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, so he's at like 90% for me now, which is nice.
Nice. 90. You don't go 89?
No, I always do. Unless they're a tank, I always do the top right first.
Gotenks.
Second one.
I would go defense for them, bruh.
But yeah, I got decent luck in terms of getting him nice and quick. But yeah, didn't get an extra copy. Didn't get any Kale and Cauliflas, unfortunately. So I'm still sort of... I don't think I'll do any more summons because obviously who knows what's going to be next. But yeah, I got him very quickly, which was very good. So pretty happy with that.
You know what? I forgot something. I pulled my first copy of Broly on the Dokkan Day tickets on JP.
Oh, nice.
That's what it was.
Nice.
Yeah. So on JP, I didn't really have any stones saved. So that was why I was like, first night or whatever, I didn't get anything. And like, I use my global, like I play my global, but it's kind of a cope thing. And then, I ended up pulling them on tickets. I think I tweeted it, but I thought it was just funny how that works out. Like, I've had really good luck with the Dokkan Day tickets for LRs. I've pulled TN, Kale and Caulifla, and Broly off of those.
What? Jeez.
Yeah. Honestly, I forgot I even had TN. I thought I didn't have him, and I looked at my account, and I had him on my main account. I'm like, I have him? I'm like, oh, yeah, the tickets.
Literally,
I did get TN off this banner.
Yeah, I got my first TN. It was in the Stone Summons. But yeah, like this time I got a little bit luckier with the Dokkan Day tickets because I actually managed to pull out of the 14 summons. I did manage to get one SSR, but it was a random unfeatured one. Literally the last 3 sets of free tickets that I've gotten like all SR multis. So I'm still yet to pull one of the actual new units off of any of these free tickets. The fact that you've done it like 3 times is insane.
Yeah, the Dokkan Fest, I have terrible luck with the Dokkan Fest. Usually those are like, so like Golden Week, I didn't get anything. When did that start? Was it for Cell?
I think it was Golden Week was the... Oh no.
Was it Golden Week?
Golden Week I think was the seriously serious ones. Dokkan Day might have been Cell. I can't remember. But it was around that time. Cell, because Golden Week was right after Cell, right? So it was around that time. But yeah,
the game does a good job of like telling me it's like we're gonna bless you on the banners that you shouldn't be summoning on, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the bad carnival banners like Kale and Caulifla, where it's like the reruns weren't horrible. Like funny enough, Gotenks reran on that one, so I'm like, I don't think Gotenks is gonna be on this banner. I think my leading theory was the Super Saiyan trio, the Int one.
Okay. Because
it was movie themed, and I was kind of like, oh, they put Gotenks on here, huh?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be Gotenks because he was obviously his release date. It's like he's almost a year old. I think he's on Gifted Warriors. I'm trying to think of any kind of tie-in with Broly, but yeah, fortunately,
not Exploding Rage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I guess we'll talk about his kit and everything here as well, of course. Before we dive into that, I forgot to say right at the very beginning, but obviously, as always, if you guys want to help to support the podcast, keep the show going, you have any questions, any comments, any shout outs you want to give, anything like that, all donations and super chats, obviously very much appreciated and will all be read out at the end of the episode. So yeah, in terms of now how good the unit actually is, I mean, Vil, you said you've been playing Festival quite a bit, so... What are your thoughts on LR Wrathful Broly?
I mean, like, again, I put in our little rundown, like, Festival is rearing its head, right? That is really where it feels like this character was designed to just be an ace in there. And he certainly performs as advertised in that event, right? Like, it's incredible how quickly you can get him built up to where he needs to be, especially with that guard. And then the introductory damage reduction isn't really a Festival of Battles thing, but you do have that extra damage reduction off the start. But, like, I'm sure you guys have seen it floating around on the timeline. If you run like a double Broly setup in the Festival of Battles, he can literally do it himself. And people, I think this, I don't know who, I think it was a Japanese player who like started it, but it's like, again, if you run like a Broly friend lead on the AGL Gogeta team with a Broly, and then you float like Glorio, Bulma, AGL Gogeta himself, Broly can clear it in under an hour.
Yeah.
So like, you have just an absolute demon in there. And right now I've been kind of using him on like the AGL Gogeta led team that like sort of like the meta Festival of Battles team, but you take out somebody like the Gods or Namek Goku and you put Broly there. And he just ends up working out really well. Like right now I'm on turn 51 and he's got like 16 million defense. So like he's good to go, right?
Damn.
With guard, and I'm on the Beast Gohan phase, so I'm going a little slow, but yeah, like a character that can essentially beat it themselves. It feels like he was really well designed for that. But sometimes it can almost be like a hindrance just because of how good he can be. I feel like sometimes like characters you have paired up with them, even if you put them in slot 1, they don't stack up enough because like Broly gets going and he just doesn't stop. Like, and it's really frustrating too. Like, so when you want the supers, it's normals, but then when you wouldn't mind the normals, it's supers. So like you know how the Kid Buu phase nullifies like strike based supers and stuff like that. That's when Broly's going to do like his quintuple super because all of it gets nullified, right? But when you're just like, I'm good with normals, when the normal's like a 50 million attack stat, that's a normal, it's a guaranteed crit. He's doing a gazillion supers, he's building up on all of those supers, all of the stacking that he's able to do, and just having guard on top of that is always nice. Like, you know, just guard is not enough until we start talking about like, oh, I have 18 million defense. Then just guard is enough. But the game is also not all the festival, and I think that has to be acknowledged, right? I mean, we know that the Festival of Battles missions are like the talk of the town when we get them, but that doesn't make it like the entire game because we still have stuff like the Union Master event, the Supreme Magnificent battles, all of those other things. And I think that he could have maybe sacrificed some of this festival's performance for a little bit more utility or usability in those other events because he's one of those units that you could easily screenshot on Twitter when he opens up with like a 6 million attack stat. Like that's not good. We're on the days like look at we'll talk about him later, but the Super Easy Broly, right? Like what's the highest you've seen him start a turn? Like 60, 70 million. And then he's doing a guaranteed additional super that's an AoE that's like 40, 50 million. So, you know, it's tough when you don't have those super high numbers offensively and defensively off the bat because it's like you just need so much defensively, right? Like even a monster like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got kind of power crept by that Gohan fight, which is how hard he got hit right off the bat. So
Yeah.
I like this character for the Festival of Battles, but I think if I wasn't like in a phase where I'm playing the festival a lot, I'd probably be really annoyed with this character. But you know, I'll kind of leave some points for you. I also don't like his leader skill. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Minato, did you want to add anything as well?
I mean, I used Broly a little bit when he initially came out on the private server.
Yep.
Since then, I don't have him on my account, so I haven't used them.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, he just is not really that great in like the shorter fights. And the unfortunate thing is, you know, we need to see what these red zones this week are for me to get a true opinion of this guy.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't really done a tier list for Broly or Golden Frieza because I've been waiting to see what these new red zones are going to look like and if they're actually relevant enough for me to consider them in terms of our ranking.
Yeah.
Because we have that red zone, Kale Khalifa stage probably, and then likely just a Broly stage. So if we do get longer fights that are very difficult, like what if we get turn 8, AGL Broly could do 3 super attacks and they're all like 15 mil, like something insane like that.
Yeah.
And it's like no dodge. Like we don't know what's gonna happen, and maybe it wouldn't be like that crazy, but in these short fights, these bosses are hitting way too hard. And we just don't have long fights that really are comparable in terms of difficulty. Where it's like, okay, well, since the long fights don't really matter, this guy doesn't really have a spot right now besides Festival. And, you know, this guy being arguably like the best Festival unit is pretty good for him still. It's just, I would like for more wiggle room and more events in general to take advantage for this guy. Because otherwise, if the actual only events you're going to struggle in are these short fights, then realistically, you shouldn't even get this guy. And he isn't really in a great spot in terms of the hardest fights in the game right now. His turn 3 Scouter is pretty cool. My biggest hate for this guy is realistically the additionals. I really dislike that the additionals are for every attack received. And most of the movie bosses team are they all want to receive attacks.
Yeah.
And then you essentially get hurt from having the target skill with Golden Frieza and Gogeta when that should help the team. That this team should just build up by attacking or build up each turn or something like that. But they all want to receive attacks. So you get hurt by using an ability that should help the team. It's a very
Yeah.
terribly designed team in that mindset. And this Broly, unfortunately, is a character that does add to that when he should have been a very huge helpful option. Like he has a lot of HP. Let's adding another LR is just really useful. But man, if he just like they should take away 2 of those additionals, make one of them a guaranteed part of his basic effects, and put the other one in his intro and let him build up just from attacking. And he will look really good in short fights. And it
Mhm.
wouldn't really change him too much in long fights at the end of the day because I guess he would miss out on one potential stack in some turns, but like
Mm.
realistically, it's not going to make the difference between him being really good in those fights and really bad in the long fights. Whilst having an extra super attack and building up faster would make a world's difference in short fights. So I have
Yeah.
a few issues with this guy just right now, but again, I'm kind of like on the fence still because I really want to wait to see what these fights are going to be.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, we could end up with a long sort of fight because the was it the red zones that came out during the anniversary? We had the Goku story and the Vegeta story, and obviously they both end with a phase like the Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, where it's like one phase, but they had an insane amount of HP, so it's quite a long fight. And something like that, like if Broly ended up being something like that, especially if he had an unarmed super as well, then obviously this Broly would be in a really, really good spot. But yeah, I agree with all the things, all the points. Like, I think my most disappointing thing is like, obviously, anytime a unit comes out now that is an infinite stacker, immediately
Right.
everybody's like, he's a festival unit. But like, some of the characters are they're still useful in other events based on other parts of their kit or other parts of their passive and everything. But yeah, unfortunately for this guy, like it seems like he, until, like we say, potentially with other stages, currently, as of like when he dropped, he very much is just their festival unit and is not particularly good in any of the other events. And I think when you were saying about the additionals, I thought you were going to say sort of the main thing, my main issue with him is the having to build up by being attacked is obviously really annoying as well. But the other thing is, like, I don't know if he would be too powerful. I don't think so, because for long events, you've got plenty of time to get all those stacks. So that's obviously where he's going to be good. But for the shorter events, I think he's really hurt by the fact that the additionals are only a high chance to become a super. Because obviously this guy has like, taken over as being like anniversary Blue Evolution Vegeta 2.0, where he just like the number of times I've had turns where he does a super and then like 4 additional normals. And the problem with that is in a long event, in something like Festival, like you have plenty of time for him to make that up. Whereas in a short event, if you take that risk, like you put him in slot 1, maybe you do take a bit of damage, like you lose like half your HP or something like that. Not the end of the world, but you take that risk, you put him there so he can take those hits. And then he does 1 super and 4 additional normals. It's already then setting you up for the next time he comes back around, like he's barely built up. So you're still in danger because he's not built up that defense. And so, yeah, if you take him into an event that is only like 5 or 6 turns and you get like 2 turns where he barely does any supers, then he just becomes a massive liability. And I absolutely do agree with what Minato said. It seems weird for them to have the Frieza having that target ability and then drop this guy who really wants to get hit as well, because you're trying to juggle like who's going to take those hits. And again, it's like if turn 1 you take that risk with Broly and he just gets a bunch of additional normals, then turn 2 it's like you potentially are in a situation where, or turn 3, you've then got to use Frieza's active skill because Broly would be too much of a liability to take hits that turn. But then that means he doesn't get any more build up. So then you'll get into turn 5 and he's got barely any build up. So definitely very awkward. I think the chance for his additionals to be supers should have been a little bit higher. I mean, that is true. Someone in the chat, at least his chance for his additionals to be super is higher than the Blue Evolution Vegeta. But
leave Evo Blue alone, bro.
yeah, very disappointing, like, to have those turns where you get very few supers. But, I mean, there are some situations where he can be good. Like, obviously, unarmed super attack enemy bosses, like, getting those supers and getting the 30% buff for every super that gets launched to him is pretty good. And so, yeah, it is true that, like, we need to see what the next 2 red zone stages are. Because, again, if they're longer fights and if they potentially have unarmed super attack phases, especially for phase one, where you could then safely try and get that little bit of build up in the early turns. That could obviously be hugely beneficial for him. And of course, you know, we don't know what the next sort of Dokkan shifts very much between, like, back and forth between the difficult events being longer and shorter. So this guy could be in that sort of awkward situation where he is now, and then like the next set of difficult events that come out are all longer, and then he'll sort of come back into the spotlight a little bit. But yeah, Vil mentioned it, obviously, the fact that we didn't talk about it much yet. But yeah, his leader skill being Exploding Rage is definitely disappointing. Not sure what I really expected, what I would have expected it to be, considering we probably were unlikely to see movie bosses. Obviously, not super bosses, considering we got the Rosé. I feel like they're probably steering away from dropping something like Pure Saiyans as a 220 team.
Yeah, you
That
can't
would be
do that.
insane. It would have like most of the best
yeah.
units in the game on it, right? Basically just all the non-fusions that like start off as fusions.
Well,
I mean, they could have just done movie bosses again. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of like he could kind of replace like the worldwide
or
tech
uncontrollable power.
Yeah, uncontrollable power would be interesting.
It has Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Caulifla.
When did
Kale, the new Super Easy Broly, Wrathful Broly? You could put Tech Broly still there. And Broly would probably be decent if you're not running two of him.
Yeah.
Fat Boo, like uncontrollable power is not terrible.
When did that category drop? Int Broly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Int Broly's still the only leader, so I think they should have done uncontrollable power personally.
Yeah.
Exploding Rage is kind of just like a limited version of what you would run for uncontrollable power.
He's like, for a modern LR too, he's like 9 teams is not that many. Just kind of looking at it right now. Like, how would we have felt if he was a Gifted Warriors 220? Would we have liked that better?
No, because a lot
he
of
would
the
get access
Broly's
to the
don't fit
10
that.
years on his team.
I feel
right?
like it's probably still better than Exploding Rage, I guess.
No,
I mean,
this
yeah,
team definitely
compared to
would have been
Exploding
better.
Rage, yeah.
It's got basically like all the modern LRs, like minus G4.
Yeah, you're right. Goku Black and Rosé's on there too.
The 10 years, yeah. You mean Blue Goku?
No, Zamasu's Gifted Warriors.
Well, you said Goku Black and Rosé.
Oh yeah, Goku Black and Zamasu. Sorry.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, so you got like that character. You've got the Blue Goku and Vegeta, right? Golden Frieza, Gogeta. You could run some kind of funky setup with that if you really needed to. This team would have been better than Exploding Rage, but I think that there's a lot of synergy that would be tricky to get around because like Golden Frieza, you know what he needs, right? The super and extreme class restrictions on the Blue Goku and then the Rosé and Goku Black. I just did what you did. Rosé and Zamasu. I mean, you get the idea, right? But like Gotenks would be there, and that would kind of make more sense for why he's on the banner. You mentioned that earlier, that tie-in. Quickly, we've been talking so much about like Broly's performance in Festival. Sometimes he can be a little bit frustrating when I've been using him because like it's a conflict of interest where it's like I need to stack my Tech Vegito, but I also need to make sure that Broly gets hit so he can do his additionals. That way I do enough damage to move to the next phase, right? Yeah. Like sometimes it could be a little bit annoying to balance that out, but like once he gets going, you really can't do much better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I used him
interesting character.
I used him on one run, and yeah, I wasn't even like halfway through, and he already had like 11 million defense or something ridiculous. But yeah, it's also interesting because I guess to be fair, like we're going to talk about the EZAs obviously, but like the Super EZA Broly is on Exploding Rage. And then obviously they EZA'd the other Broly, so then he's not on Exploding Rage, so he's not on this guy's team, which is annoying. Whereas obviously having something like Movie Bosses would have solved that. Gifted Warriors would just be the same problem in reverse, that the DBS Broly would be on it, but then the Super EZA LR Broly wouldn't be on it. So Exploding Rage not the best. I feel like it's just the same sort of thing that like when 200% leads first started dropping, like we're not going to get the categories like Pure Saiyans, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Bond of Parent and Child. Like then they're not going to get like straight up 220 leads for a while, right? Because they're pretty much consistently the best categories in the game. But yeah, overall, a little bit disappointing in terms of stuff outside of Festival for now. But as we say, there is the potential for the meta to shift. And then obviously things like the missions for Festival and stuff like that, which obviously, you know, we got 2 within this celebration. So who knows how long it will be till we get any more. I don't think it's going to become a thing where we get one like every celebration or anything, but yeah, it's something that we'll probably see again at some point. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the festival missions a little bit later on. We'll carry on focusing on...
I know you're excited for that.
I know, my favorite. I'm trying to do, because I want that to be my, like, the purpose of my video. I'm trying to do the mission without using Broly. And I keep losing to like the worst possible RNG. Like the number of times I've got to stage like 40 something and then like don't quite, like somebody doesn't crit and one like in full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku has like this much health left or something. Like,
who are you
incredibly
who are you
annoying. I'm running the AGL Vegeta lead, but like a Tech Vegito friend, Tech Vegito on the team. So I've got 2 Tech Vegitos. And then, yeah, I've got AGL Scouter Vegeta, Tech Saiyan Day Vegeta, Int Broly, and then the Super Saiyan 4s. Because I don't have hit, so I don't have...
Are you using items?
I would be, but I'm saving them to use them near the end.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you can get away with Goku and Frieza. Like, you don't need to stack them.
Okay.
That's what I did. But mine was also rainbowed.
The problem with those weaker units, like the Scouter Vegeta, Tech Saiyan Day Vegeta, and then in Broly, is they all want to be stacking. Like, ideally, you want them all on main rotation, but then early on, it means they cannot do enough damage. And like, I've lost within the first 10 turns, like 3 or 4 times as well. It's crazy. So
yeah, those 3 chargers will get you, man. Like you just like you're trying to hold back so you can stack, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't do enough. Like, and the run's just over.
Yep,
that's happened to me a billion times.
Crazy.
But yeah, like with Goku and Frieza specifically, you don't really need to focus on them. And like all Goku needs is a rainbow warp, and then he gets that extra damage reduction. He has guard. You really just kind of have to item in the Daima phase, otherwise they're good.
Yeah, because if you pop a Whis, then he's got like 98% damage reduction or something.
Yeah,
right?
so then so then like you're covered, and then you just taunt your way through the fusions and you're good. So it's like that was the strategy that I used. Someone in my Discord helped me with that one. But like Saiyan Day Vegeta is a really good tech option. You keep them on rotation, get them to like 1.5 mil defense, and then they're chilling.
Yeah, because I forgot about Vegeta. Like, he stacks relatively well, but like you get to a certain point and you're, you know, turn like phase 40, and he's at like 2.5 million or something like that, like close to 3, and you think, oh, that's not a lot, but I haven't used him for ages. So then I re-looked at his passive, and it's like, oh, okay, he gets like 150% when he gets hit or something. So he jumps straight up to like almost like 8 million or something. Right. Yeah, so in terms of the other units that came out, the big units that we're focusing on for the part 2, we did mention them briefly already. We have the EZA for the STR base Dragon Ball Super Broly, and the Super EZA for LR Broly. Vilify, do you want to start off? Who do you want to pick? Who do you want to go for? Yeah.
Are we talking about the EZAs? I'm sorry,
yes,
I was reading the chat.
EZA and the Super EZA.
Well, I mean, so the Super EZA, I mean, I feel like that's more of what people want to hear. Like, it's kind of like with the EZA. Just
I actually really want to talk about the EZA. So if you want to talk about the Super EZA,
you know what? Then, all right. Well, the Super EZA, I think he looks very impressive. I think I tweeted like I really wish that like he would have had guards. That way, when the damage reduction goes down, he would have been a little bit more okay. I think that really could have helped like solidify him. But overall, I still think he's pretty impressive for what he is. I'm never expecting like when did that character come out? Like 2016, 2017?
Yeah, something like that.
Like something like it's like a character like Mighty Mask, Kamaji, Vegeta, those Broly's. Like I'm never expecting them to just come back in the meta and just run through it.
Yeah.
But so long as they are serviceable, which I think especially on a team like I believe he's on Inhuman Deed, so he's on the Omega Shenron team. He's on Movie Bosses, Exploding Rage. So shower him in support on the Omega Shenron team. He's going to look really good. And I just think he kind of holds his ground. But one unfortunate thing for you non-Ma Junior havers out there, he kind of has lost his World Tournament role because you have so much key that you can't start on his 12 key anymore. So like you almost have to waste a super attack that isn't an AoE. So it's like if you care about World Tournament and you were one of those guys running him, I'm sorry.
Well, just don't super easy him.
Right. Don't super easy him. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. I'm not super easy hang him because I use him in World Tournament.
Yeah, he's more valuable to me as a World Tournament character. Yeah,
hey, if you don't have a junior, like, it's just funny how that works. But again, I think he just could have used a little bit more defensive bits. Just kind of pulling them up here so I can refresh myself a little bit. Like, I know mainly it's that the damage reduction goes away, but like early onset damage reduction is always nice, especially when you are getting that support from the Omega Shenron setup. He ends up looking pretty impressive. I haven't found like a situation where I'm just like, oh my god, I hate this character so far. But like I said, I've also been living in the festival, so I'm also not like constantly running this character.
Yeah.
But 2-turn support, I mean, we know how valuable 2-turn support is at this point. Somebody like Daimagoku lives off of that, and it's just so nice to be able to get that extra support. You really can feel it. Like when you're like, why did the character hit for 70 million on this turn, but then they only hit for 54? It's like, oh, the 2-turn support wore off.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that he has that 2-turn support as well is just really good, because it's just I've been very impressed with him so far. Even the whole like within the first 3 turns having that little bit of extra damage reduction if you need to put him in slot 1, which can be really helpful for especially the movie bosses team, where you kind of have your very focused slot 1 units, and then if you get like a bad starting rotation, then Brolyyyyy can kind of handle slot 1 in some of the situations. I know the last time I checked, which was this morning, so it was probably like 12 hours ago now, Dokkan Info still hadn't updated with the stats on the final stage of the Union Master, like the movie boss, the one where you need 5 movie bosses. But the SDR Brolyyyyy was tanking like a super from the second phase, like for double-digit damage in slot 1. So obviously I know that that's not, you know, it's not the hardest hitting boss in the meta or anything right now, but the fact that you can, in those early turns, like if you have to, put him in slot 1 and he can just tank the super. Yeah, very, very good.
Well, you can't bring items into that, right?
I think you can. Can you? I can't
Oh,
remember
can you?
now. For
I forget.
Master. Let me check.
What event is it that's out right now that you can't bring? Oh, is it that like survival event? There's an event you can't bring items into right now. I just don't remember which one it is.
I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, Union Master. Let's have a look. Yeah, Union Master. You can bring 3 items. Yeah.
Okay, so then it might be tricky because, like, you know, sometimes if they make an event where you're not allowed to use items, like they think about that and they're like, all right, let's not make it like they hit for 35 million turn 1 if you can't use an item.
Yeah.
Because like it really felt like, especially during GDC, where it was like, oh my god, like they are really trying to get us to use items in these events.
I will not, because I have not played this event. I've been busy in Gekshin.
Oh
Are
yeah,
you playing Gekshin by chance?
Is that
not right now? No.
Live or Die on the Predatory Planet? That thing is like the new challenge one where you can't use items. The one that has the new stage every day. I need to catch up with that. I've been saving those to like catch up for like, I want to try and do like maybe just try and do them all in one video or something. So I've literally only done the first stage, the one that came out on the first day, and I haven't done any of the other ones yet. So that'll be a nice little burst of stones. But yeah, Minato, do you have any extra thoughts on the Super Easy 8 LR Brolyyyyy?
I think he's good. He's not bad. He's kind of like 7 out of 10 Super Easy A. I think he has issues.
Is there a 10 out of 10 Super Easy A right now?
10 out of 10 Super Easy A. Let me think.
Maybe in Buhan on release.
Buhan on release, I was gonna say. I was probably up there.
STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like a 9 out of 10.
Okay. What about his counterpart?
Great.
We love AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. What do you mean?
That's why I was asking.
Was really good too. Yeah, but it's basically like the ones that stand out to me: Buhan, Texel, Super Saiyan 4 Goku are like kind of like, in terms of Super Z's, they've like, they cooked. But yeah, STR Broly's. I mean, I think that I like that he's not a build-up character. I just think that he could have done more damage. Like, they should have given him another super, and then another super, and then we're good.
If he had, because he has the guaranteed one, but if he had like a chance to do a third one, that would be cool.
No,
because then that makes it even more likely
one
for him to proc the hidden potential as well. Like,
I think for 3 turns in the entry turn, that part of the passive, give him a super.
Yeah,
a guaranteed additional super.
Sure.
Just give him 2 guaranteed additional supers.
The game, like the meta doesn't shatter if you do that.
Yep.
This guy should be a character that's pushing your damage turn 1, but he doesn't really do that. Like, he somewhat does that, but he doesn't really do that. Like, this guy needed an extra 30-40 mil super per turn, and then we're cooking. And then, like you said, the hidden potential system one could activate again. And then now it's like, okay, well, this guy's gonna do I don't know, 45, 50 mil into a 30 mil, into a 32 mil, into a 34 mil. Like, you get the point. Where it's
Yeah.
like getting the extra super attack worth of damage is really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just like some extra damage turn one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a case of like he's a very good, very solid Super Easy A, not like game breakingly busted or anything, but just very good. I think better than people thought when we saw his details because of the just sheer amount of extra defense he gets, like after attacking and then when he gets hit as well. So his defense is actually very good, plus having generally 52% damage reduction most of the time, even in like slot 2 or 3. So yeah, pretty good. And then of course the other one, so I want to start us off because I'm so impressed. Like I said it when I was talking about him in a video earlier. I did like a meme sort of like full Broly team. The STR base Dragon Ball Super Broly. I don't mean this in the way of saying like, you know, I think he's better than Frieza and Gogeta or anything like that. But I feel like he's the unit that I'm the most impressed with out of this celebration because the expectation for him was like in the ground, right? Like nobody expected him to be good, right? But I think he's actually really good. Like I don't run a build of like movie bosses or super bosses without him on the team now, basically. The number of times like floating in slot 3, the rainbow orb changing is really useful, and then by being in slot 3, because all of his procs are like when he attacks, the number of times, especially in events that are multiple phases, the number of times that it gets to him and then he attacks and the enemy is then below like 50% HP, so all of his passive activates, and then he does like four or five super attacks, which can get up to, even without support, he gets up to like 30 odd million on the last couple. So especially in those like Union Master and the Battle Hardened Formidable Foes missions and stuff, the number of times that he just like finishes off the phase, and then even when he doesn't, like post super, his defense is decent. Obviously he's not one of those units that you're putting on the team because he's going to be tanking all the big boss super attacks, but as a unit that in the class that he is, like as a sort of like floating utility unit, you don't expect those units to live like the biggest super attacks in the game. But for everything that he's doing and like what he provides for the team, I actually just think he's really, really good. Which considering, I had no expectation for him whatsoever to be good. And I think he turned out actually really nice. It's just a shame, obviously, because he's just the normal base Broly. He's not on Exploding Rage, so he's not on the new Broly's team, unfortunately. But I think he's really good. So, Phil, what do you think about him?
Honestly, haven't used him.
Fair.
I'll keep it real. It's like sub EZAs just piss me off. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
fact that it is annoying they didn't add missions or anything, so you had to like manually farm all them. But I did that before he came out, fortunately.
Look at you! I did pre-farm Broly's medals, the LR. I will say that.
Like, it's because I streamed the day that EZAs came out, but I started before they dropped. So then I was like, well, what am I going to do until they come out? It's like, well, I might as well farm the physical Dragon Ball Super Broly EZA medals, I guess. But yeah, Minato, what do you think of this guy? I heard you humming at one point.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. He could be decent in like weaker fights. Like, I'll take that. Sub EZA.
Sure.
You could find a place to use them. That's nice. That'll help free-to-play players complete missions.
Yep.
Really awesome. Then I look at Tech Sin and I'm like, okay, thanks. You know, that's awesome. Right? I look at Physical Pan, I would use her 9 out of 10 times over this guy. I look at S tier GG Trunks, I would use him 9 out of 10 times. Like, I'm... The thing, even like the Super Baby 2 and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Golden Grid Apes, like they're only not effective because they're banned, not because they're kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the purpose of having this guy. If he had just a 60% reduction start of turn, he would actually be usable in these difficult fights. But like, okay, I'm trying to think about him in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta fight.
Yeah.
You flow him, he gets killed 9 mil super, like he's dead. Bye, you're dead. Exploded. You think about Goku Black. Oh, AoE exploded. Let's think about the Hybrid Saiyan.
You make a good beginner's guide talking like that.
The thing is, I just really don't understand. Like, I just don't understand why the damage reduction, even 40%, could be start of turn. Like, I don't like what's that purpose behind it besides just like going out of your way to make a unit bad for fights. Like, it's not like they're not. It's not like they're not making them like specifically built towards a certain fight. This is more so making the unit bad for a certain fight. It's
Yeah.
going the opposite way where it feels bad that you're limiting the character rather than, oh, they're still decent here, but they're really good here. Like Fury Broly is at least still decent in longer fights. Turn 3, he has like the scout or stuff like that. And
Mhm.
obviously that's a new LR compared to like this TUR Dokkan or TUR sub easy, right? Like it's a huge different landscape. But it's the
Yeah.
general idea of how you design characters. That's why this Broly frustrates me. And again, you could take advantage of him. I do like the Rainbow Orb changing. It's really nice. I just wish I could actually use him in fights that I enjoy playing, which are the harder fights in the game. Like
Yeah.
going ahead and using this guy in missions, I'm like, oh, this guy could actually do some probably decent attack stats. Like you said, it's just he's also very restrictive in terms of like you do still want the enemy at certain HP levels, and sometimes you might not hit that. Sometimes his like performance is varying. Maybe I'm a hater, but realistically, I'm just like I'm gonna look at this guy compared to the character that released next to him, just like I'll look at Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta together.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it. Where Tech Sin is like actually like 10 times better than this guy. I feel like I'm sorry.
Damn, 10 times.
10 times. I mean, okay, yeah. Put Broly slot 1 versus Rose and then Sin. Let me know what you think.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it is annoying. It's like you said, like certain things like the damage reduction only been when attacking. It doesn't do anything for the unit except for make him bad in specific events rather than like, yeah, it's like, why does he have that if the meta is having AoE bosses? Because yeah, it's not like with his start of turn defense being as low as it is, it's not like him having damage reduction at the start of the turn suddenly makes him a slot 1 tank. It just means that, yeah, certain events he then isn't good in. And I do get that, but I mean, that's the thing. Like we talked about it on a previous episode as well. I like the fact that we have that range of events at the moment, in terms of like the spread of difficulty and like the reasons why they're difficult. So at least he is useful, I guess, when it comes to the way a lot of the players approach the game, and you know, not talking about people that like doing no item runs and stuff like that. I guess the good thing is obviously the missions that have released in part 2 for doing runs with movie bosses teams, the events that those have released for, like, he can be good in. So I guess that's good enough for his release. And like we say, he is just a sub EZA, so but you are right, I guess, like him being the banner unit that released opposite the Tech Sin, and then Tech Sin being as good as he is, there's no reason why Broly shouldn't have been that good as well. But yeah, like I definitely agree with some of the critics. I like him for what, like, I guess the teams and the events where you can use him. But yeah, there are certain events that he just will not be good at all. But yeah, for a unit that was so bad on release, I mean, I'm trying to think back because like Tech Sin on release, obviously GT Bosses has never really been good. But in terms of like his overall kit, I feel like Tech Sin on release was probably considered to be quite a bit better than Broly as well. Like I'm pretty sure my memory is that STR Broly, like everyone just thought he was trash. So at least his EZA is runnable in some of the content, like the end game content that we can now have, I guess. But yeah. Annoying that it's a sub EZA. Like it's weird as well that they've done in previous celebrations. Why do they keep flip flopping between these? Like, here's a bunch of missions, so you just get all the medals, and then another celebration they don't do that, so you have to go back and farm all the medals from a different EZA. Super annoying. But yeah, he's relatively decent. But yeah, Tech Sin is one of those typical AGL Omega situations where I feel like his kit seemed like it was decent, but like, yeah, GT Bosses was just never a good team, so it didn't really matter. Even if his kit was good. But yeah, I think he's decent enough. Now, in terms of, there's one other note here, obviously, in terms of EZAs and stuff. I did see, I think someone posted it in my Discord today. It was another one of those posts from Proton about potential gaps in the ID. Now, obviously, we know we have a couple more stages that are going to be dropping in the next few days. Do you guys think, and if so, what do you think it could potentially be? Do you guys think we will see another EZA or Super EZA drop before this celebration part 2, like, and the whole celebration, I guess, because it will only be 2 parts, is officially over? And obviously, who do you think it could be? I don't know. I heard you both. I don't know who wants to jump in first. But
I mean, the burst mode kind of points towards the NRF Blues, right?
yep. Yeah, that feels
Probably
like a
like-
strong possibility.
Mhm.
The thing about the Inter-Resurrection F Blues is that, because I'm going to check one thing. I want to make sure that I'm not talking like, hold up. Yeah, they are not on the full 220% leader scope. I think that they're going to select a character that is on the full 20% leader skill for the Golden Frieza plus Gogeta team. Makes a lot of sense. I usually like getting characters that fit the entire leader skill, and essentially everyone that we've seen the celebration does fit the full leader skill, from being gifted warriors or
Yep.
inhuman deeds, right? So I think that they'll continue that trend. So I'm thinking that instead of the TUR EZA thing, we'll see a LR EZA or two LR EZAs. To me, that makes the most sense. So I'm actually placing my bets on the superhero EZAs at this point, because I would have said the cooler in the Carnival Goku. It's just that Goku does not fit the full leader skill. Now they could still probably just EZA Goku, just like, hey, you know what? Who cares? He's on like 16,000 teams anyways,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then have Cooler fit this team. I think that'd be fine. But realistically, I think Cooler, like the Cooler, how to explain it? Cooler doesn't work well with the Brolyyyys, and I feel like the Brolyyyys kind of having a presence on the team would kind of mess things up a little. But at the same time, it'd be such a weird team to have like Orange Piccolo beat a physical Ultimate Gohan, Broly's Golden Frieza. Like, it's a weird team anyways.
Yeah.
But I think, Piccolo already does provide key support to everyone and is a slot one character. Ultimate Gohan could probably be really good, and they both fit the full leader skill because they're under transformation boost, and Piccolo's also even gifted warriors.
Yeah.
But like, because they both fit the full team, I think they think about that when they're actually making these celebrations. So that's kind of my guess on it.
Yeah, because physical Gohan's on Exploding Rage as well, isn't he? Right, so he'd be on Broly's team as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Vilify. Your
Yeah.
thoughts on potential EZAs outside of the RF Blues? I feel like there could still be a chance, but yeah, what do you think?
I mean, if we want to go crackpot, I'd say probably like Worldwide 2022 and then like the superhero New Year's Old Dokkan Fest, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'd rather just save that.
Another thing, well, we do know that there's going to be some EZs coming, but like,
Mhm.
yeah, I could see why you want to save them. One thing I would say though is I feel like they would want to also save the Worldwide Celebration EZs to all EZs together during like anniversary.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's kind of why I'm like, also like, the superhero EZAs fit on the full leader skills. Using all the Worldwide Celebration units at the same time makes a lot of sense. Like, I think because of that, it kind of adds up. But we could also just get like a solo LR EZA, like some random character like Tapion and Minosa or something.
We'll
but, like,
finally get that in Piccolo and Goku that the EZA's been hinted at. ages
Yeah, wasn't
ago,
that in
right?
Worldwide 2024? Like, wasn't that data mined or something? Like the assets
long
for
time
where it
ago.
would put in? Yeah.
Yeah. They're a movie heroes character, right? So they're
Funny world we live in.
yeah, because like it's I agree, because I did a video talking about like today potential things that could be the EZAs that are missing, and Minato, you kind of said very similar to what I was saying. Is like if Cooler got an EZA now, it's like the movie bosses team is kind of this weird build where, because the Broly's don't have it and Golden Frieza doesn't have it, like the current movie bosses team build doesn't really have any big bad bosses characters. So it's kind of like a weird setup for Cooler. Like obviously if his EZA is good enough, then I guess it doesn't really matter if he's not getting big bad bosses active. But like in terms of links, it's not the greatest team set up for him.
Well, I would say the Golden Friezas and him link really well. They still share 5 links.
Yeah.
It's just the Broly side of the team wouldn't really link the best. I also would say, sorry for interrupting, but the movie hero side actually probably needs more options than the movie bosses side has now. I think the movie bosses side actually has quite a bit of decent options. It's really finding like the three movie heroes characters that really fit across the board because
Mm.
we have the gods, Ichigo, Gogeta, and then after that's like the base form Vegeta is fine. The Gohan could be decent. The Pat Parkett Goku, sure, but like I think getting like two really strong, prominent, like shorter fight characters, which I think Ultimate Gohan and Orange Piccolo can be,
Mhm.
would be helpful for this team. So then, okay, you could eventually switch over to Gogeta, right? And even I wonder how many links would Gogeta and physical Ultimate Gohan share? I mean, they would have. I don't know.
Can
Let's
have a
see.
look here.
Does the Gogeta have shocking speed?
I
Take
think
a
so.
Which one? The tech one?
The new one, yeah. Let me take a look here. How many links would they share?
Don't worry, Daddy's checking.
Let's see.
We're all looking up. There's Gogeta there.
All of us?
No shocking speed, but
It's the race.
Kamehameha Fierce Battle Legendary. No, yeah, shocking speed. Shocking speed, Kamehameha
Yep.
Fierce Battle Legendary Power. I mean, that is 4 links that they do share.
Yeah.
And it is Gohan's only key link, so that's really good. So,
Mm.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
once you get the Gogeta side out, Gohan will link pretty well with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I could see, that's the thing, I could see if there is going to be another EZA, another reason why I was kind of leaning towards potentially the ROF Blues is obviously the team that released with Gogeta and Golden Frieza is movie bosses and movie heroes, and then all of the EZAs have been movie bosses. So it'd be nice to actually get some movie heroes characters to go on that team, like to get some EZAs. Obviously, we did get the banner unit, Coat Vegeta, and he's okay in like not the hardest events, but yeah, getting some actual movie heroes, other character options to go on that build, like we said, so you can actually access the Gogeta active skill and everything, I think would be very good. Also, I feel like if they EZA the ROF Blues, they could finally do the sub EZAs for that physical blue Goku and the tech blue Vegeta, who then obviously would also become new good options for Festival, because those guys, when they very first released, were great stackers for like the Legendary Goku event, Legendary Vegeta event, and they're technically ROF units. Plus, obviously, it's like they EZA'd Golden Frieza, who's their Part 2 LR, so it seems odd to like EZA them EZA him anyway in a celebration that is movie bosses and movie heroes, and not EZA the ROF Blues. Because otherwise, when are they going to get, like, I guess, and when we get some other kind of like Realm of Gods celebration or something potentially. But yeah, it feels like it makes sense for them to EZA in this celebration, especially with Frieza getting his. The other big one that a bunch of people mentioned to me, a lot of people had mentioned it in the chat and everything, is the free-to-play Golden Frieza and the Int Super Saiyan Broly, who every single time we've revisited the Broly satellite movie, they just haven't done anything with them. And obviously, I know they're free-to-play units, so it's not really important. If they do get their EZAs, they probably won't be that great. But it just seems very odd that they've kind of forgotten about them completely. People were speculating, I know when we saw in the data downloads as the celebration was first starting, that there was that event ID that was being revamped into a DB story, and a lot of people instantly assumed it would be the Dragon Ball Super Broly story event because that would make sense, but instead it was the Bardock, like Lone Warrior Bardock story event, which was very odd, and they had the random awakening for like the Kid Vegeta, which was very seemingly out of place for like this celebration, I feel like. So yeah, a bit of an odd one. But yeah, I think the worldwide units, as cool as it would be to see them EZA, they EZA'd the Namek Goku and Frieza and their guy like during the anniversary, and they were the worldwide characters from the year before. So I feel like they'll probably do that again, right? And we'll get all of the worldwide units like the Coolers and the Goku and the Super AGL Super Saiyans during the 11th anniversary. But yeah, what is it? Because the celebration's not going to be on for much longer, so I imagine if we are going to be getting an extra EZA or two, we should see the announcement for that within the next few days, I think, right?
It should be tonight. Or it should
Yeah.
be in about 12 hours.
Because, yeah, I was going to
from
say,
now.
news has regularly been dropping on what for me is a Sunday morning. So yeah, it would be tomorrow morning, like essentially 12 hours from now, right? 9 a.m. for me. So yeah, be interesting to see if that happens. Because we haven't had the data download for the 2 last Red Zone stages, have we? So
Nope.
Yeah,
That's why
so
tomorrow.
yeah, as they don't drop at the weekend, that'll be, I guess, very early Monday morning for me, and then the stages come out on Monday morning. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, for anyone listening to live, or if you're listening back to the VOD, who knows, potentially very soon there'll be information about potentially the upcoming remaining EZA or two, if there is one.
Exciting stuff.
So yeah, I guess we will have to see. So we talked a little bit about the events, obviously talking about the missions and talking about some of the characters that will be good in there. So we obviously got the Union Master event. We got a movie Heroes and a movie Bosses edition. Just in terms of in general, like, what are your guys' thoughts on this event? Obviously, it's, I don't know if we would consider this another one of the quote unquote end game events, but obviously it's not super crazy in terms of difficulty. But what do you guys think about Union Master?
It feels nostalgic, like playing something that feels like Super Battle Road for the first time in a while. Like the multiple sort of pathways to go to on the board. Like, I don't remember the last time we've had to do that. Aside from like ESPR and Super Battle Road, which we still do get updates for, so I guess that's something to note. But I didn't find it to be too hard. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it now. I think the ESBR kind of like lit me up a little bit when I was playing it, but because the EZA tech Broly sucks. You know what I'm talking about, the transforming one?
Yeah,
he kept getting destroyed.
On EZA, but yeah, I noticed that in that ESBR stage, he's taking like 100k normals, and so it's like, what?
Right. So I threw my pride away, used items because I wasn't recording or anything, so I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, fair.
Yes, but I do like just Union Master is like, it's just a good time. I don't think I'm really like considering it when I'm doing unit evaluations, or if I'm talking in the form of a tier list where I'm like, oh, but how do they do in Union Master? Like, that's not really something that's crossed my mind, but it's still a fun event, but nothing really too crazy.
Yeah. Minato, your thoughts?
I mean, again, we just gotta kind of wait and see what happens with like the easy stuff like that, right?
But yeah, it's, I mean, the teams are solid for it as it is now. The thing that I find odd about it, so I quite like it. I think, as we said in the past, with like the different varying difficulties, it's kind of nice to have an event like that where it is like the stage that requires the 5 enemies, 5 units is.
Wait, did I misunderstand the question?
Yeah, we're talking about Union Master, and then Minato's like, well, I guess we'll wait and see with the EZAs.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, that makes sense because I haven't played the Union Master, so I played their first 2. I just haven't played the new ones yet. I'm lacking because I've been on the grind for Gakshin. I'm sorry.
What game?
Sorry. Gakshin Squadra.
Yeah,
but no, that makes sense.
This guy over here, actually, I'm gonna put this guy on blast, right? I went on to finally get some Squadra time in. I see this guy online, so I drop him a DM. I'm like, hey, do you want to squad up? And he's like, no, I just want to play by myself. It's like, bro.
Well, yeah, I needed to get solo queuing in. I needed to get solo queuing in. Also, if you're new and you're playing with me, I was almost A rank. So you would not have had a good time queuing against higher ranked players.
Well, you're saying I've not got the skills.
Look, I'm just gonna say.
No, to be fair, I was gonna say I don't have the skill. I'm saying I don't have. You would have been right.
I was gonna say I know you haven't played the game that much, so I would have feared. I was protecting you, Ninja.
I see.
Well, let's go with that.
Okay.
Also, I was protecting my sanity. I'm not gonna lie, because before that, the night before, I had a bad losing streak for a little bit.
Okay.
So I had to recover, and let's just say I would have crashed out if I saw the slightest mistake. And I know you guys are newer.
The worst part is I had a really bad run of games as well, but like I finally unlocked Cooler, and I think he's really good, and I was doing really well with him. But then the rest of my team were losing the game for me, so I was getting very annoyed.
Were you playing with Bojack or Cell?
Anyway, before we get too much into it's not the Slot 1 Squadra podcast, but yeah, so the thing I find weird about Union Master, getting back on track, is the it's like, I guess it's to have an easier version for newer players, I suppose.
Yes.
But it's the fact that you have like the 3-unit stage and the 5-unit stage,
Mhm.
and they're both
Not
the same
6.
in terms of the
Yep.
enemies that you fight. But then obviously the 5 units version is slightly harder, so slightly higher stats, and they have some extra abilities that the 3 units one don't. But obviously, I guess it gives you some variation if you want to use a different team. But I mean, I did because I only recorded a video for the harder version, so I did the
Mhm.
5 units one first, and then just after recording, jumped into the 3 units version with the same team and just steamrolled through it. So like I say, I guess maybe it is there as an option for if you don't have as good of a box, and the 5 units one would be a bit too hard. Although you can use 3 items and it's like 3 fights, so
Right.
kind of like Super Battle Road, you can sort of ration out your items and make it a little bit easier.
You what are the rewards though? Because I was gonna say you bring up a good point where it's like the 3 character restriction is much nicer than the like the full category, right? Because like Super Battle Road, you could have been playing the game for 6 months or like a year, and you still like may only be able to take down like a fifth of the stages. So like for Super Battle Road, because it's just like having 6 characters that are required on the team, and then having all your EZAs done and your sub EZA set up, and then your characters link leveled and all that stuff. Like that's not a guarantee for everybody. And I think you bring up a good point where it's, I guess I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, beginner players are in a good spot with that.
Yeah, and I think the rewards in total, you get some skill orbs and you get like 10 stones for each of the stages. So
for clearing 2, you get 10.
As for one of the stages, it's 10 if you do all the missions.
Oh, that's good.
So it's like beat stage 1, beat stage 2, beat the whole thing, and then beat it with
those
3 characters, and it's 10 stones, and then same.
This is what happens. Yeah,
so
this is what happens when I play the Japanese version. What are those skill orbs for? I have no clue. I haven't even.
They're always for like the opposite. So for doing the movie bosses one, you get skill orbs for movie heroes, and then doing the movie heroes one, you get skill orbs for movie bosses. Which I guess because they're the enemies you fight, but yeah, that's the way around. But yeah, it's like a nice little, not super difficult, just that sort of mid-level end game sort of content, it can be quite fun. And especially, like I said, with the 3 units one, you're less restricted, so you can throw together like a more fun team that isn't all movie heroes or movie bosses. But yeah,
gives extra value to like those pure Saiyans leaders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
It's like, 10-year Gogeta you don't like in the Supreme Magnificent Battle. I'm sorry, you're trying to get to something, but it's like, oh, but then this leader here, like AGL Gogeta's lead is really good for like a movie hero setup that's based on pure Saiyans or fused fighters, and you want to run like 3 Gogetas in there, and you were able to kind of make together these makeshift teams that are not pure rapid growth, pure low class warriors, right? Where those can be very tricky, because who wants to summon for Dokkan Fest Bardock to do like the Team Bardock SBR or something like that, right? You wouldn't have to do that, but just an example.
Yeah. Because it's interesting, like you can build this. Obviously, the celebration has been very themed around movie bosses and movie heroes. I mean, the fun thing is, obviously, like you can use double Gogeta and Golden Frieza leads for both of the missions. Which is what I did, and then just build the teams a little bit differently. I did replay it for, I said earlier, doing that thing with like the full Broly team, because it's kind of, that's an event that's not super hard, but still has a little bit of challenge, and that team's actually able to beat it, which is fun, because obviously it's always been fun throughout the lifetime of the game to make those kind of meme teams of like, oh, this character. But previously, like any version of the all Broly team, you either had to include units like Super Saiyan 3 Broly or the Heroes Super Saiyan 4 Brolys, who don't work on teams with non-heroes characters. So then you couldn't really do any of the actual current events with those kind of teams. Whereas actually currently, obviously not the hardest events that we have, but like the all Broly team actually does kind of work, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's funny, like you said, and a bit nostalgia for like the old Super Battle Road type stages, which funnily enough is I guess kind of what we talked about when this event first came out. But obviously the battle hardened formidable foes, which is somewhat similar, because again, multiple fights, status effects are actually useful in at least the first phase of most of the fights. And that got a bunch of missions as well for movie heroes and movie bosses. Now, the interesting thing, because it's something, again, that we've talked about over the years, of how no item runs are something that people usually do just for fun or just like, just for that extra bit of challenge.
Or
But
to
of
do,
course,
belittle other players when they use them
to try and flex for those internet points. But
for the 6 people that care.
yeah, for these missions, we actually have missions for the Battle Hardened Formidable Foe stages to do them with no items for the 2 final stages, arguably the 2 hardest ones, because obviously the final bosses, Broly and Selmax, have the ability to do AoEs. So how did you guys find those missions? Vil, I'll start with you, because Minato probably hasn't done them because he's too
No.
I wish I wasn't in a festival run right now.
I've no item them before.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they're
So
not retroactive, unfortunately.
So movie heroes and movie bosses were like what you had to do, right?
Yep.
Actually no, I do remember this. I was playing another game with my friends while I was doing it on the side. I accidentally ran, I think it was movie bosses in stage 10 when you needed to do that one in stage 9. So
Right.
I think I know item stage 10 with movie bosses, like trying to do all the missions. I'm like, oh my god, I did the wrong stage, right? And so I didn't find it to be too bad, but like I got to get some usage out of the Brolys and things like that.
Yeah.
But it also felt nice to go back to Battle Hard Formidable Foes, right? Like I'm always here for going back and playing these old events and using different teams. And it's like, oh my god, look how much easier this is now. If only I had Mercenary Tau and I could have used him in there. I would have been like, really experienced, a Dominator in there.
Mm.
But I didn't find it to be too bad.
Yeah.
But you did say it pretty well. I think Broly tagged me once, and then I already knew Selmax had that AoE going in because I'm a super smart boy. And I kind of just knew. I was like, all right, like Selmax has an AoE, so like let me deal with that.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out to be too bad. But I could definitely see like a world where you get caught because you're not paying attention, or you underestimate the stage, and you're like, oh, wait a second, like this guy does have I don't know what the exact number is, like a multiple million super AoE.
Yeah. And that's the thing,
So it could be
because the
tough.
mission is to do it with no items. It's like you can get unlucky and he could just super in slot 1, like just AoE super, and there's essentially nothing you can really do about that. So
Right.
let me just get up the
I think
Battle
I
Hardened
separated the
Formidable Foes thing
runs
here
for
and
like
check
no
some
items.
things. Yeah, so that's
Maybe
the
I
big
would just
thing, because someone mentioned it in chat, but I think the way they'd written it was obviously saying, oh, you have to do movie heroes no items and movie bosses no items. But that's the thing that's important to remember, and I mentioned this in my runs, but like they are separate missions. So if you don't have the best movie heroes team or the best movie bosses team, you can beat the stage with those teams with items to do that mission. And then the no items mission is a separate mission. So if you can't do it with those specific categories and do them both at the same time, you can redo the stage with obviously whatever is your best team, to potentially get that no items run. And you don't have to do them both at the same time. Because with no items, like Selmax, I just looked it up now just to double check what it was. But Selmax's AoE is like 4.2 million. So
Yeah,
if
that's
the
not a-
AoE's in slot 1 and you don't have an item active, unless you have a very tanky rotation, like that could be it right there. So
Your defense resets in that fight. It's not like you're
because it's multiple
you're not
fights,
stacking,
yeah.
right? That's where
Yeah.
like this is always something I circle back to, but like I was getting destroyed for putting Beast Gohan at 1C during the Battle Hard and Formidable Foes meta during the 10th year anniversary.
Yeah, no, he cooks in that
And-
event for sure.
But that's
yeah.
what I'm saying, because like his damage reduction and intro buff kept resetting. So
Yep.
it's like you're never going to see this guy without the intro buff.
Yep.
So,
And you
can
literally
shove it.
turn 1, you make sure he takes a hit, and then you get into the second phase and you use his active skill for the target ability
Right.
and the massive defense buff. Yeah. Like that is one of those events where he is still very, very good. Even now, I used him on the run for my movie heroes, no items.
Yeah.
The other unit who absolutely cooks, which makes sense because obviously they do these missions based on the newer releases and stuff. But the Golden Frieza and Gogeta on the movie heroes version, so you can switch into Gogeta straight away on turn 3. And so then like as long as you pick up the 10 orbs, he has guaranteed dodge. He does tons of damage. I mean, I managed to get very lucky. I didn't get slot 1 AoE'd by Selmax. And Gogeta literally did like max damage cap, like crit, and just absolutely destroyed him in slot 1 on turn 3. So yeah, he absolutely crushes that event for the movie heroes version. But yeah, unfortunately, it is like anything, like as someone who's been doing them for years for the various different events, like no items, unfortunately, sometimes that just happens. Like you get slot 1 supered, and there's not really anything you can do, or like slot 1 AoE'd especially. But yes, as I say, you don't have to do the missions at the same time. I managed to do them at the same time because obviously I've got the decent enough teams, even though some of my characters like the Gogeta and stuff 55%. But yeah, when you see like the Rainbow Friend Tech LR Gogeta, like the exchange just go absolutely crazy on that active skill turn. Yeah, he absolutely demolished that event. So yeah, definitely a fun one.
Yeah, I have a thought for you. You have a little tagline for your channel. You're the something something king. Are you going to trying to be claiming that for the Union Master? I am the three. What is it? The three category
three events
unit
that
master.
are very much like Super Battle Road. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Super Battle Road is not what it once was. I mean, we didn't.
You're grateful for it,
great detail, but yeah, obviously, I know you mentioned it talking about your run, but yeah, the Super Battle Road stage Planetary Destruction, obviously releasing at the perfect time because you just use Super Easy A LR Broly, and he absolutely destroys that stage. But yeah, I mean, some units can still get caught, like you said, like putting on some options like the Tech Broly. Obviously, if you're not running the Tech Great Ape Vegeta, I tried him out because obviously when he got his Easy A during the anniversary, he was really, really good. And then even with the guard, he got like instantly slot 1 supered for like 500k. I was like,
he got what?
Okay, like insta slot 1 supered. Shout out to
slot
the
1 supered, huh? There you go.
But yeah, then I just changed to the full movie bosses build and had like the Tech Brolys and the Golden Freezer, and then literally like as long as you get a good starting rotation, it's like Golden Freezer just eats everything in slot 1, and then all of the Brolys that have their AoEs. Because in those short events like Union Master, Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, Super Battle Road, where the fights are short, I feel like there's no point leaving Tech Broly in his base form. So you just transform him straight away on turn 1. He does an AoE, does the action break, like. And then yeah, it's just as long as you get a good starting rotation and you don't get insta supered, yeah, I flew through that one fairly easily.
Yeah. Funny enough, my first attempt I think was my best, where I was kind of just like half paying attention doing the no item run, and then I got to the last fight and then I lost.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just could not get lucky. I don't know what happened, but like that's an event where Int Broly could see a ton of value because of his domain and the ability to get a stun off.
Yep.
Like that's where you really could see something. Because like a lot of characters have stuns in their kit, but it's not really something you get to take full advantage of these days. Because it's like we see like a red zone stage where you can stun the boss. You're like, oh, this is a joke. Okay, cool. Like, and then you just kind of move on, but it's not common. Bless you.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are those few events where you can take advantage of stuns are like super helpful. Because it was like the first stage of the new red zone, right? Because Raditz, I think he does an AoE, but I didn't even notice because I didn't know he could be stunned, but went into the event because I think there was a mission for movie bosses. So I went into the event with the Int Broly team and just Int Broly in slot 1 instantly stunned him, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he's just stunned for the whole fight. So yeah, where those are useful, and that's again like the sort of callback to Super Battle Road, those Union Master or Battle Hardened Formidable Foes fights where in the first stage you can utilize those status effects, so it allows you to use some of those other units that you're maybe not using so much in some of the other end game stages. So that's pretty good. Now, obviously, the next thing on the list we have to talk about when it comes to content, we have mentioned a little bit already, but we'll talk about it, I guess, in general, because we did have the one in part 1 as well. And that is, of course, the Festival of Battles mission. And this has been, of course, the... I don't know what... I'm trying to find the right word for it, but the huge disappointment for people like me and people in the camp of... we don't like festivals, so we say it's irrelevant, and of course now it's getting missions, so now people like to say that makes it a relevant event because now it's getting missions, even though like the legendary Freezer event got new missions not that long ago. So is that event still relevant?
Okay, but is the legendary Freezer event hard? That's the difference.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna pipe in for that one. I was like, I got this,
again,
bro.
the whole point is that the event is hard, but people were like, oh, you only have to clear it once. So actually, I don't like it, even though you only have to clear most events just once. So it's like, okay, this event is now just like every other difficult fight. It's just long, and that's like, I think it's just kind of
Yes.
silly to be
I
like,
just,
oh,
I
not
just
like
I
there's-
don't
lost
like
on
it.
turn
So
9 as well.
I mean,
again, so that's
realistically, if you don't like it, you don't have to
I'm
like
on turn
own it. It's like
10.
your own
I just
opinion.
dunked
But
on you.
like, let's be for real. Like a lot of these missions will be difficult, and it
Yeah.
will be important to get characters that can help with these missions.
Right.
I think
And-
the crazy thing about it is, as because I don't want to relitigate the entire like festival argument, but like the big thing when it comes to the missions, I think it still comes down to the fact that it's just so long. So it's like they added a mission in part 1, so they made me play this damn event again for like 3 hours or whatever it was, my final run, and then like 2 weeks later they add another mission in, which I actually can't remember because of the typings of part 1. I don't know if it would have been possible.
I think
to
it was
do
like
both
the
of them
same
at the
thing.
same time.
No.
But I saw a lot of people saying like, I'm just gonna wait now until there's like 4 or 5 missions that I could do all in one go, and then I'll finally like replay it or whatever. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Like, primarily we'll talk about the actual new mission itself, right? Because obviously the new mission is for the 3 extreme types, which we did kind of, a lot of people had guessed that would potentially happen, with obviously an extreme unit coming out for part 2. What are your thoughts on this? Because like, how much thought planning do you think they put into this? Because when it comes to trying to think who are the best options for each of those typings, some of them are left a little bit wanting, shall we say. So
Yeah. No, they designed a mission that would very heavily incentivize players to summon for what is the full name of the SSR? Let's see.
the SSR.
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this. You should. They want you to summon for Ice Sheet Melting Power, Brolyyyyy (parenthesis wrathful parenthesis). So,
That's
you
right,
know,
the
if you
new-
summon for
the new
Brolyyyyy
unit.
and the new unit, right? That's what they want you to do. But I will say that yeah, this one is definitely a lot trickier than the superclass one. I felt pretty hard pressed, but you know, at least there are I think Extreme AGL is like the worst typing for this one.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have Dirty Fireworks Vegeta, like you're in for it. Full Power Frieza can work, but I found, and AKA I'm just stealing this from the guy in my Discord who helps me out with this a lot, but like Full Power Frieza you have to give a lot of attention to.
Yeah, because he only stacks on the 18 key, doesn't he? So you can only get one stack per turn, and then if you get one of those terrible turns with bad orbs, then it's
And Dirty Fireworks Vegeta is sort of like the like Trunks and Vegeta to an extent where he makes the run feel a lot more comfortable because you're feeling better with your orbs.
Yeah.
But the run is certainly possible without Broly, and the character that you would need for it is not like this like crazy like character you probably never would summon for. It's just saying Day Vegeta, right? Like that's not a character that like I'm sure everybody doesn't have him, but it's not like it's a Dokkan Fest LR that came out at like during GDC is the only option here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like if you really want to try it, you could run like the Tech LR Broly, the old one, the Saiyan Day Vegeta. Obviously, if you have the new Broly, it's going to feel pretty easy. But I don't think like, I mean, you were asking the question, you know, I was being funny and I put up 0, but like they didn't really think about it. I think it was like, let's just make them do the inverse of what we did for Superclass,
Yeah.
and the players will figure it out on their own. But we have to include an Extreme Tech in there, so that way it's like, oh, you want an Extreme Tech character that's like probably. I think I'm in the camp that I like Tech Vegito over Broly in that event, but I mean, Broly's damn good.
It's just one of those like Tech Vegito's like
It's
the
the taunt,
closer,
yeah.
isn't he? Like it's just
Yeah.
like he just wins you the run at the end. Like
Broly, he needs a lot to one turn, like the last phases, where Vegito, it's like you need a little support and a taunt.
Yeah.
And he can one turn both of the last 2 phases and like stuff like that. But still, I mean, Broly has a counter, which is really good against like the the uppercut Goku from the Broly movie. He's really good against that phase. He's good against the UI Goku phase. But Extreme Int, I think, is also a little bit tricky if you don't have like the old Broly or Goku and Frieza. This was where like my best worst summons ever. I talk about this all the time. Where I rainbowed him in like 700 stones on accident. I wanted Gohan and just one Gohan.
Yeah.
So I just happened to have a Rainbow Goku and Frieza, and it's like I just kind of just stayed as Goku the whole run and got a Rainbow Orb, and they were fine. I had to use items in the Daima phase, but when we're talking about a mission like this in a 3-hour run, like you bet your bottom dollar I'm using an item if I get to the Daima phase. Like,
oh yeah. This is
Yeah.
one of those. I mean, this is one of those events that, like, I did it live on stream and everything, and we made a big like meme about it. But obviously, especially when I had the going back and forth with Truth over the Super Battle Road stuff, like this was the first time ever when doing these events that I actually did like reset the app, like using the Scouter exploit and stuff. Because
You really went
just
to the
like you
dark
said,
side,
like
huh?
I'm not playing the event for 3 hours, and then it's like, well, now I've lost because I didn't know which
We
slot
got
the
him.
super was in. At that point, right?
Beautiful.
Hey man, I did it live on stream when the event came out. That was a
Beautiful.
crazy day as well when the
That's
stage
Listen,
first came out and
amazing.
everyone
If
was
the
playing
game-
it.
If
man, I'm
Dokkan
not
is going to let
playing-
you do that, Mask Ningen, then you're
Exactly.
allowed to like do it.
Well, yeah. Plus, like, my argument was always the fact that if you're doing like what we would call a challenge run, like if you're doing a no
Yeah.
items run, then using exploits, I feel like takes away from the challenge. But when it's just a case of I just need to beat this event so I can get the mission reward, like yeah, damn right, I'll do the
Right,
Scouter
right.
trick and use items at the end and everything. Because man, if it wasn't as long, even if it literally only took like an hour to get all the way through,
Technically,
then,
it
like,
doesn't.
maybe I
On the
wouldn't
Broly
do it.
setup.
Well, yeah, true. Now potentially, yeah. But,
Yeah, have a rainbow Broly, and then you'll be able to get that done.
yeah, but yeah, with the event being as long as it is, it's like, yeah, damn right. We use every available resource in order to get it done.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny you bring that up. That's why that event takes so long. Because like if you are like, because what you should be doing is you get to like Majin Buu, and then you should be scatter checking every turn, right?
Yeah.
So add on another 45 seconds to a minute every turn, and then you got to think about like what you're doing with orbs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's quite the gauntlet, but I think that the dopamine that I get from clearing it, like I really don't care if I'm using items. Like it does kind of take away from it a little bit, but like it's enough, and I think it's a good time. But I also like the idea of investing into a run that long. I guess it's just like I like stacking. I guess that's what it comes down to.
Yes, that's the thing is
but-
it's fun to like. It's one of those like we all know that it's like if you take them into that event, like Stacker's going to stack, like they're going to get up to high numbers. But at the same time, even knowing that, it is still cool to see it, like to open the menu and
Right.
see, like you said earlier, like Tech Broly with like 16 million defense and stuff. Like it's still cool to actually see it. But yeah, the only gripe is that it takes so long. Especially because, like, for me, it would be fun to do, like, fun challenge runs and stuff like that. But, like, for the most part, I usually only stream for, like, 2 hours. So I literally couldn't start a run and finish it, at least without, obviously, like, the new strategy and everything.
Yeah, that's not a real thing.
Yeah,
though.
the
Like,
general
how-
build.
yeah.
Plus, like you
How many
said,
players
with-
have a Rainbow Broly, right?
Plus, like you
it's
said,
just-
with the
it's not
amount
a-
of thinking that you have to put in at the end and things like the Scouter reset and stuff like that, when I did the super class mission, I finished it off on a stream. I played it for like a little while the night before and then got up in the morning and did a stream to like, right, let's finish the mission live and I'll record the last like couple of phases. And I think I started from like, I think I had got past World Tournament Goku, so it was phase like 41 or 42. I think I was at, and
That's
it
so
still
funny
took
to
me. It
say.
still took me like the full 2 hours to finish the run. Like I literally didn't finish it until about 10 minutes before I was gonna like finish the stream, because you really do like have to put so much thought into.
do all the math, check the defense.
Because you don't want to get to
think about
phase 4.
guard.
Like again, the Dimer one is the real, like the one that everyone hates, the run killer. You don't want to get to
Yeah.
the Dimer one and then get to that third turn, and then you're trying to quick maths, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't win now. Like, so that's my 2.5 hour run, like out the window because I didn't do enough damage in like the first turn or something. Like it is absolutely crazy, but yeah, I've seen some interesting runs with units that people have used. So like Extreme In, I've seen a screenshot of a clear with the LR Fusion Zamasu, but some of these teams it's because they're obviously for the non-stackers, they're using a team build that has like the Vegeta and Trunks on it as well. So obviously they're giving all the non-stackers extra stacks. So characters that already have damage reduction, and then you're giving them stacking from the Vegeta and Trunks like effect, does have a sort of beneficial effect. But man, yeah, extreme In and extreme AGL, extreme tech, like not the craziest of choices for stackers. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see like the next extreme release being either like In or AGL and being a stacker. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, we did kind of allude to it a little bit earlier, but it's like, do you think we will see another new mission for Festival added sometime soon, or is it going to? Do you think it'll be like an anniversary and like one other time of the year kind of thing, or? Because I don't think it'll be a like every celebration we then get a new mission that's related to like that new unit or something. But
That would be so funny though.
That people would go crazy.
I would hate it if they did like category missions.
Mm.
Like that would be really annoying.
That would
like,
be the toughest one.
With like fused fighters or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go in and be like, all right, go clear that with revenge.
Yeah,
like
because even with these typing missions, it is only 3 of the characters. So with the right kind of team building, like you can still bring Tech Vegito and like AGL Gogeta and stuff like that, on the gods or the Super Saiyan 4s or something. But yeah, if they make it like you have to use a specific category, then that becomes incredibly difficult unless they make it like something like Fused Fighters, which is then basically the team that people were running for the initial version of the like best team to clear it anyway. So then it becomes almost pointless to add that as a mission. So definitely would be interesting to see what they do going forwards in terms of how regularly we get these missions and what kind of missions they would. Somebody in chat saying give a mission in every celebration. We don't have to do. I mean, that is true. Like that is always the big thing. Remember, with any missions in these end game content sort of things, if you are struggling with them, you know, you don't have to do all of these missions day one. They will release units, and they've clearly shown now that they're adding missions. And since the anniversary itself, we've had a couple of stackers like come out, so they are going to be releasing units that will make this event easier and make these missions easier. So it's not something you have to go crazy over trying to do, or like, you know, don't feel like, oh well, now I have to summon for Broly because I have to do this mission. Like it's something that will get easier over time. But
I saw like people talking about like, oh, I need to get Jiren for the Universe 11 Goku and Frieza mission, and it's like, let's do the math here, right? I mean, this is basic things, right? Like, how many stones did you go on Jiren? Oh, 500. How many did you get back from that mission?
Yeah, like 5 or whatever it was, right? Like so yeah,
not
necessarily the best investment, but
no, it's a pride thing. Like you just want to clear everything. I get it. I'm the same way. Like I understand the thought process, but
yeah, it's like completionist thing and stuff. And
yeah,
that's for me.
Like do as I say, not as I do thing.
Yeah,
like I may summon to do the mission, but I'll advise you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like I said, right? Like I want to do my video to be the like how to do the run without the new Broly. So I've failed it multiple times now, and I've been quite busy over this last week setting all this stuff up and everything. So like I haven't been doing loads of runs. And it's just, it takes so long. But like, I know if I just do it with Broly, I'll probably just be able to do it. But I'm trying to do it for the specific doing it without Broly. So hopefully this next run will go better. And maybe that I can actually get that video out tomorrow. But the worst is when you put in the like 2 hours and then I wake up in the morning, get all set up ready to record, and then literally go in like continuing at phase 40 or phase 41 or something, and then like instantly lose within like 10 minutes. And it's just like, oh, I don't have time to do that whole first 2 hours again. Like
it's a hell of an event. Yeah, people like to say it's what's it called, like they wish they could pause it. It's like that's the beauty of Dokkan, you technically can pause it. Put it down.
Exactly. Oh, and that was the other thing that got in the way of when I was trying to do it earlier in the week, was the fact that we had the maintenance. So if you're like mid-run, it would kick you out. So I knew there was no point me even starting a run like the night before the maintenance started.
Right. Or being in that one run when content drops. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm at turn 50. I don't want to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it's like, oh, this
me,
ECA is out and I want to do a showcase for it, but I'm like halfway through my festival run. Yeah, super annoying. Actually, one of the runs, again, it just goes back to my pet peeve with the event is how long it takes. Because there was a run that I did, and again, it's down to me. Like I was just really busy with IRL stuff. I'd started the run on like Monday evening or something, and then barely got a chance to play it on Tuesday. So it got to Tuesday evening, and I was like, oh, if I don't quit out of the run, like I'm not going to get my like my login for today because I've just been in the festival for the whole day. So I just had to quit so I could still get the
where were you? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure how far I was, but like, and especially because, you know, when you get things like the daily capsule and stuff like that, it's like I don't want to miss out on a day because I'm stuck in the festival event all day, which is a little bit annoying.
It's something.
It is certainly an interesting event. It's up there with the World Tournament in the fact that it's like
No.
in the one sense only, that the fact that it's so different to all the other types of content because it takes
Fair.
so long. Whereas most of the other things, even some of the longer stages, when like during the 10th anniversary, it felt like some of those red zone stages were quite long, especially if you didn't have Vegito to like melt the final boss. But even some of them, they were taking like 45 minutes. But yeah, like 3 hours. Especially when, and I've seen many people say the same thing, it's been, I'm just repeating points that we've talked about since the event came out, but the most disheartening thing for people is getting that like 2.5 hours in and then you lose to something like the charge count and stuff, which, oof,
if you're scared to lose a 2.5 hour run, just don't play it. You got to be able to just like, if you lose, you got to be able to just suck it up, champ, and get back in. Like it's tough.
Yep.
Like I just lost the run on this podcast and like turned 68 or something like that. But like, just suck it up, champ. I'm already back in another one. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
The Daima phase is just really stupid. I hate
the Daima phase is just horrendous.
I don't know what they were thinking. But it's okay. Super attack play. Yeah, that's what got me. Daima Goku didn't super until the third turn, and Broly didn't counter it. I don't even know if he can counter it.
Yeah, one of the first attempts that I lost back when it first came out was like, transform Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the against the Daima, and neither of them are supering on that turn. What do you mean? I need that extra damage from the super attack counter. So yeah, it's crazy. But Minato, did you have any extra thoughts or anything for these for the battle hunt, festival mission, whether it be this new one or the future of them? Any other thoughts?
I can't really say for sure. I mean, they did add like 2 missions that I think do encompass a decent amount of typings. I could see them eventually adding the other typings that are missing for missions, but that's pretty much it. It would be very funny if they start doing category missions, but like, who knows?
Let me look at Extreme STR while we're here. We have Rose Goku Black.
Extreme STR has always been a sort of weak because, like, are there any
Cooler's EZA
stackers?
That's going to be the one.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they give him stacking.
Dude, Cooler EZA actually. No, Cooler greatly stacks attack though. So like.
Yeah, but like his EZA, he's gonna do both.
He can do that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that'll be good.
But like you have Rose Goku Black and Zamasu. People use on runs all the time. I saw somebody clear it with super bosses.
Yeah, you don't need a stack defense to be good in the event. You just need to make sure you stack attack.
Yeah, you got to be able to make sure that you can just deal with those diamond normals early, especially if you're running like a Vegeta team.
Yeah.
Or a Vegito team, excuse me. Like Rose has things in his kit that would make him fine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yep.
But Extreme, what's the other one? Extreme Physical. Omega Shenron's not a stacker.
Yeah.
Bio Broly is certainly not good for that. Oh, Cell and Frieza. I'm just looking at LRs. Do 17 and Frieza do any stackage?
Nope.
Metal Cooler.
Yeah, imagine that. They EZA both the worldwide coolers and make them both permanent stackers. Oh yeah, Buhan.
Yeah. But he doesn't stack fast. I feel like he'd be too weak for too long.
Yeah, he's another one of those units that he'd have to be on main rotation and hopefully super as many times as possible. But yeah, potentially not good enough. But yeah, so the missions are here. They are not going anywhere. So if you can't get them done right now, obviously they will release units in the coming months that will make the missions a little bit easier. I mean, bear in mind, from now until the anniversary, we're mostly going to have like filler Dokkan Fests. Obviously, then there's the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest. But the anniversary itself is going to be dropping another 4 like big characters, 2 banner units, bunch of EZAs. So there'll be, by the time we're at the anniversary, I'm sure we'll have a couple more very strong stackers that will be helpful for the event. So it is what it is. So the only other event that we haven't talked about is, of course, well, we've mentioned it briefly, but obviously the Red Zone. We have the 2 final stages coming out Monday. For me, it's Monday morning. I think it still is everywhere, like very early in the morning, like 1 a.m. if you're in Pacific time. And of course, from the banner image, I guess we just know that like stage 5 is Kale and Caulifla and stage 6 will be Broly. We talked about obviously the expectation that maybe these could be slightly longer fights to make Tech Wrathful Broly a little bit more useful. Is there anything that you guys are expecting or anything that you would like to see specifically from?
Oh, Broly's going to disable dodge.
Yeah, the civil dodge. Make it just the hardest fight in the game.
The funniest meme is the fact that are we gonna go back to the 7th year like meta where the hardest fight in the game is gonna be a red zone Dragon Ball Super Broly. Especially
Yeah, I
like
hope so.
with an AoE. Imagine if he's literally just that 7th anniversary red zone stage on steroids. I could
would love
Right.
I could see it. Especially considering how long we had the meta being terrorized by the Fusion Samasu being the hardest fight in the game with the AoE. Imagine if this guy has an AoE as well. Any thoughts on what we could see from the Kale and Caulifla stage?
I mean, who knows? Just two enemies. I mean, there's the Broly. Estero Broly could be really good there potentially if it's just like a 2 enemy fight, right? Because he'll have the AoE. He has the guaranteed crits against pure scenes. Like maybe he could be decent there. They could also be both physical, just for him.
Yeah.
Right. So
I could see it being like they could do a thing where it's like phase 1 is Kale and Caulifla separately, maybe in like base, and then phase 2 is the LR where it's like the two of them together. Something like that would be cool because that's the thing when like I mentioned it when we was talking about the some of the Broly units while doing that run for Union Master because the last fight is against the Goku and Vegeta. It's like sometimes when some of those characters come out or like when they get their super easy A's, you kind of overlook AoEs because very often in the meta we don't have like the hardest fights actually have multiple enemies. So the Kale and Caulifla one especially is a good candidate for having a phase that actually has more than one enemy to make use of those Broly AoEs. I think could be quite good, especially for that STR Super Easy A Broly. But yeah, definitely will be interesting to see because those are the final 2 stages, and of course because the celebration is going to be coming to an end fairly soon, so we don't really have time for there to be any other stages being added, I'm fairly sure. So those will be the last 2. And yes, it will certainly be interesting to see if Red Zone Broly is the hardest fight in the game again 3 odd years later than when the Red Zone first dropped to terrorize players.
I wonder if on the Kale and Caulifla stage, like Caulifla or like Kale would become stronger if Caulifla goes down. Sort of like what we saw with Gohan and Goten and Trunks and all that, where it's like what is it? Gohan's one of his stats goes up when the other 2 go down.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Like Kale gets a massive
or like they're stronger
buff
together, right? Yeah. Like, isn't Rose the same way?
Yeah, Rose gets a buff as long as Zamasu is still alive. Yeah, in the Rose Zamasu fight.
I could see something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the meme they didn't give Carb a boost against Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that on the podcast.
Yeah, in part 1. Yeah.
Any acknowledgement of it would have been funny, like just a little bit of self-awareness, but I wasn't expecting it.
Even just it would be really funny because they're never going to directly reference it, but it would have been quite funny if they give a mission, like add a mission to beat it with like giant 8 power or something. But yeah, I mean, Kale and Caulifla having some bonuses from each other, or I think someone in chat said like Kale having a buff if like Goku, if there's a enemy whose name includes Goku, all that kind of stuff, references to the actual fights. I think we could potentially see that, but yeah, hopefully they will be interesting. I think I guess actually from when they dropped, I can't remember when the last episode was out. I'm pretty sure we didn't have the Majin Vegeta and Carber stages. So I don't know how you guys got on with those. I thought they were relatively decent, not like super hard. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on the overall difficulty of this new set of Red Zone stages compared to like the GDC power creep or anything like that.
I haven't really seen anything that's too noticeable in terms of power creep with these events. Like you talked about it with Union Master, where it's like not really a thing. And then like, why am I blanking all of a sudden? Like, yeah, these red zones don't feel like Gohan and Trunks fight level, like where it's like, oh my god, Trunks and not Trunks, Frieza and Gogeta just suck, right? Like that's kind of how it felt with G4, where it was like, it's like, oh my god, he's dying to normals. He came out a week ago.
Yeah,
right. Like,
Yeah, because it's like,
Like,
Majin Vegeta is just one stage. He has what?
oh, that one is annoying. He
looking at
locks,
it
right?
here. Yeah, he has a
that
four and a
was a pain
half
in the
million
ass.
super, but he locks.
Yeah.
And then he has an effect which is, it's one of those things, the event can catch you out because it has one of those effects that does make these stages a little bit more challenging, especially combined with the fact that he has rotation locking. But he has the thing where when he drops below 50% HP, he gets 100% extra attack. And he's already doing like a 4.5 million super before he gets that buff. So you combine that with rotation locking, and then it can be a bit of a pain. But yeah, overall not too bad. And then I think the Kaba one was decent because that's like a 3-phase fight, so that was relatively straightforward as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how difficult these newer ones are and whether the final one, because it's kind of like every set of new red zone stages that come out is kind of like a, will we now get like the new hardest fight in the game with the new final stage? So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Just on that, like, I guess just on that sort of topic, what would you guys say? Because I still sort of flip back and forth, I think, between a couple of different ones. What do you guys think is the hardest fight in the game, or like in the meta current, outside of festival, like when it comes to red zone or like blue zone or the GDC thing? Like, what do you think is the hardest fight in the game? Are you laughing, Phil, because you were going to say festival?
No, I'm reading. I was just reading something, my buddy. I was just reading something. I'm sorry. The hardest fight in the game right now?
I still think it's Goku Black Zamasu.
It's Goku Black. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
feel
gonna
like
say
it's
that,
just the locking as well. Like, I hate rotation locking, but yeah, like, it's so easy to go into that event and just immediately turn one. It's like, okay, well, I can't do anything now.
Yeah, a lot of fights in the game are not Omega Team proof. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like the Gohan fight, extremely gimmicky, tech androids, Majin Buu, like, you're good, right?
Mhm.
Goten or the Trunks fight's kind of the same thing, but Goku Black and Zamasu's got a lot of tools they're throwing at you. AoEs, locking, healing.
Yeah.
It's tough. Honestly, I don't like playing it, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
rather
a
play
very
Festival
difficult
Battles, and I'm looking at you with a straight face. Like, at least Festival Battles, I can kind of control it.
It's one of those things, though. You're right. Like, it's a difficult event sometimes, especially for things like, especially for us, like when a new unit comes out and it's like, okay, let me try out that new unit and their team
Yeah.
in against Rose and Zamasu, and then I have to load into the event like 5 or 6 times because it's like, okay, well, they were on turn 1, but they're locked in slot 3, which is, I'm trying to do like a showcase for them. I don't want them to be locked in slot 3 on turn 1.
Is that one limited attempts?
No, fortunately not. That's the only
No, because that's
the
special
only
battle,
upside,
right.
Which
The other
of
one
course is another thing that is very annoying, and as we've talked about in the
Mhm.
past, why the fact that the new red zones are still coming out with limited attempts per day, which is annoying. So if Broly does end up being the new hardest fight in the game, you've only got 5 or 6, depending on your power level, attempts at it. So, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we say, there should hopefully be news about potential EZA literally within like 12 hours from now. We should have the data download the next day, just before the stages come out, usually a few hours before. Seems to be the most recent way they've been scheduled. And any extra information will be in there. So I believe that is it in terms of the topics. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to mention before we head out.
Not that I could think of, other than it's a beautiful day. I'm always happy to be here. I always it sucks when there's a week that we can't do it, because it's always fun to just come on here and talk about this game. I've always said this, where it's I'm always kind of talking about beginner centric stuff on the channel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to come over here and talk about the stuff I'm doing, where it's oh, this event was hard, that event was hard, because people don't tend to watch those videos when I do them. So
yeah.
It's
like I've always
what
said,
it is.
because obviously for me as well, especially outside of us and some of the other Dokkan YouTubers, I don't know anyone IRL that plays it, so it's always good to come on and have some good back and forth about what's been going on in the game. It's always fun.
I have friends that they like to complain a lot in the main server that I'm in, that I chill out in every day, and it's it's always doom and gloom. So it's kind of nice to come on here and have that a little bit more jaded or less jaded perspective.
Guys, Dokkan's shutting down in 2 days. Man.
I mean,
Right,
that's the
where it's like,
crazy thing. You think
people-
about like the new battle system. I mean, I guess we didn't mention that at all because, of course, it was mentioned at the fan meetup, the new battle system and everything.
It's all
but-
just like a summary right now. It's like once we kind
Yeah.
of get stuff visually and we can really, talk about our perspective and not just like, what's coming from like, and obviously
I was
like,
gonna say all
sources
we
like
really
truth
know
are
is
good.
the bullet points from people that went to the event. But all that is to say, just the fact that with that coming out, all the other stuff that they've recently started doing, the new summon point system, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Dokkan is not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, we will.
People like to say that 2025 is like the worst year for the game. It's like it's just funny that people could say that with a straight face.
Yes, so much like crazy stuff has happened this year.
Mhm.
Like, there's been some bad things, like, and some fumbles,
Yeah, sure.
of course. But I mean, there always is. But the amount of like cool stuff that's happened. This
Summer
year,
was pretty bad until GDC. I mean, I'll say that.
yeah,
like,
it definitely.
How to
slowed down
TN period was really
significantly.
slow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, they've done the most generous thing a gacha game I've ever seen do, right?
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff with this 10th year. People are, I guess, that's the thing is the 11th year will be interesting to see
Because they're not going to have
they're
it.
not a lot of this stuff is going to go away, like some of the
Yeah.
free tickets and all that kind of stuff, right? No Dokkan Day, supposedly. I mean, they could still change that potentially, but as far as we know now, Dokkan Day is a specific thing for the 10th year of the game. So we don't know whether it will. They might choose to continue it afterwards, or they might just choose some other way of giving extra like free tickets or something like that. So yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but we will be here to cover it, of course, every other week, every other Saturday. We appreciate all you guys coming out for the show. We do have a donation to read out at the end here from our boy Drace, the $5 super chat. He says, in about 2 weeks or so, we'll have the next Dokkan Fest exclusive, who will have a yellow coin part 2. Who do you want it to be? I say Tapion.
Okay, Bringer.
I mean, funnily enough, yeah, what's really funny is usually it's Drace versus Bringer arguing about Tapion versus the Universe 6 girls. So for Drace to pick Tapion, that's it's like it's opposite day or something.
Bringer hacked him.
Yeah. What's really funny though is obviously at the beginning of the year, Minato and I did a collab like video about who do we think all of the releases of the year will be, and both of us had included at some point a filler Dokkan Fest Tapion. So I don't know.
I would love Tapion. Look, just drop Tapion when I have my Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Gexin, and we're good. We're good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would quite like to see, especially because they've done the whole movie bosses and movie heroes combo team now with the Gogeta and Frieza. Just give us another Tapion that transforms into Hirudegarn, but make it an active skill. So of course he can be another one of those units where you can utilize that utility of cancelling out the super and stuff during the transformation turn. And then obviously that along with it brings like the EZA for LR Tapion and Minosha. But yeah, I think a filler Dokkan Fest Tapion would be good. In terms of another, who else do you think vilify potentially for I guess it's always end of September technically, but like the September into October filler Dokkan Fest.
I was streaming last night and somebody said transforming Zarbon. I'm like, I'd rather have Tau, dog. Like, please don't do that.
Actually, I can't remember. Someone said that in my stream last night, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same person. But yeah,
I could. Yeah, I'm not gonna look to take too much.
I can't remember, but
what? Bringer's a critter, man. I don't think he said it, but
I mean, I could see it. Like, I mean, when it comes to filler Dokkan Fest, those are the ideal candidates, right? For those characters that are not like ever going to be part of a big celebration.
Someone I don't want to summon for. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So that way I can just focus on anniversary. But
yeah.
Like if we're being realistic,
Garlic Jr.
like Garlic Jr. wouldn't be like an awful shout. Because like I was talking about with Zarbon. Because like with Zarbon, it's like he wasn't a big bad of an arc, so I don't know if he's gonna get something like that. But we've also got a Dokkan Fest for Videl asking Gohan if she likes short hair girls or he likes short hair girls, right? Like it's that Videl really kind of like just made the bar like we can get anything. So,
yeah,
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's
what if they go back to OG Dragon Ball?
It's crazy though to think the characters that don't have them, without going off on that tangent, like we don't have Dokkan Fest Krillin from any point in the entirety of Dragon Ball. So
I'd say he's pretty important.
Yeah, Krillin would be a good one. Obviously, like with that, we're talking about the next one upcoming, but of course, as we move into November, there's all the potential as we get every year, the speculation about particular crossover things. Because obviously there's no Heroes celebration.
Yeah, there it is.
We got to mention it every episode. There's no Heroes celebration, but we will still get the Heroes EZAs, and of course they will come as part of whatever celebration is happening in November. So the big hope is that it's going to be some form of crossover thing, because that would be the perfect
not
time
divers
to have Heroes. Divers, that's the thing. I'm riding the coach train of Divers November, Divers first anniversary. One of their anniversary units is Marseillan. So new crossover Dokkan Fest Marseillan in November with a crossover leader skill.
There you go.
Drop all the Xenoverse EZAs, the Heroes EZAs. Marseillan will be an extreme AGL stacker. There you go. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Tapion, I think, is the number one, like, in terms of filler Dokkan Fests that I think we could see. I feel like Tapion's pretty high on that list.
Is he, though?
I think so, maybe. I don't know.
All
it's
right.
about time
like
for Tapion and
Tapion.
Menocia's EZA.
I like Tapion, too.
I think it could be time, but I guess we'll see.
It's like how we say that, where it's like, because with filler, when it's like, we just have, like, just that, the Daima, like, paradox.
Yeah,
like,
because Daima's
we're talking about
anniversary
Tapion
now.
when we don't have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we don't have 4 Goku, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
but it is what it is. But yeah, I guess
maybe the
we'll
11th Danny payoff will be worth it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And obviously we will be discussing it here when it does indeed
right.
happen. So, but yeah, shout out to Trace
Dark
for that
Studio.
one. Shout out to Aaron as well for re-upping his channel membership. He says World Tournament over Festival of Battles.
You can get all the rewards in 2 hours, not from World Tournament. You got to play it out all weekend if you want everything.
I mean, actually, to be fair, most of the rewards from the missions, I think you could do it in like 2 to 3 hours. But
yeah, it's basically the same thing, but it's a lot more screen tapping. You got to restart a lot of stuff. Like,
actually, I think if you think, and I don't want to have to bring them all up here, but I'm pretty sure if you do the very basic missions of the World Tournament,
yeah, I'm talking about like if
as
you
long as
want the
Festival,
maximum
I think
amount of stuff.
But I think the rewards that you get from the basic missions, which take about as long as Festival, are better than the rewards that you get for doing like the Festival missions.
They are.
So, so there is that.
Well, you get 25, and then if you're doing a category mission, you get 40.
Yeah,
World Tournament gives you a special title, but you're not getting that done in 2 hours.
Yeah. But
I got one title. It was like a top 1,000. Never again.
Yep.
I do 23 mil and I stop. I don't even care about the cut.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't even go to 30. That's crazy.
No.
All right. Well, yeah. So shout out to all of you guys. We're going to be leaving it off there. So obviously the next episode will be in 2 weeks' time. So by that point, we should have, because it will be the 4th of October. So at that point, we should have, at the very least, some idea who the new Dokkan Fest is. They may even be out at that point. I can very quickly just bring up the JP timeline from the previous couple of years.
Well, it should just be next week, like on the 30th or something.
Yeah, the Dokkan Fest release is usually around like the 2nd to the 4th of October. So by the time the next episode, if the podcast is out, at the very least, we should know who the unit is. And they potentially are just going to be out. So we'll be talking about that on the next episode. So we appreciate you guys coming out for episode 73 of the Slot 1 Super Podcast. I have been your host, the Masked Ningen, with my wonderful co-hosts, Vilify and Minato's Flash. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to everyone who came out to check it out live. Make sure if you do get the chance to come do so. But we appreciate all you guys that check out the VOD and the Spotify audience as well. The episodes go up on there about an hour after we finished. So yeah, appreciate all you guys coming out. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully we've got some good news and stuff incoming. And we will see you all again in 2 weeks' time. Peace out.
Take care. Cool.
I was hoping you were going to go Canes when I changed my background again like you did last time.
Oh, I didn't notice.
You're good.